it's insane. I just think it's insane. I can't be as calm and composed as Polly is. I think it's absolutely mental what has just happened.
It is extraordinary to think what we've just witnessed there. And the power that the young man has, the confidence to take on international, world-class bowlers and not take a backward step. That was, it is hard to believe. But he got creative too, to Rashid, didn't he? I thought that there was too much pace on the ball from the quicks. They just kept banging it in there, giving him pace. He kept swinging as hard as he could. It didn't hit the middle and go for 6. It got a thick edge for 4. But to Rashid, he had to get down and sort of get creative and get some low sort of sweep shots going. So he showed that he's thinking about it too. For a young mind, he's a bit of a thinker as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why. Remember, he was not a person who got picked up in the auction immediately. There was a bidding war for him. It just kept going and it went well over 1 crore. And I remember when we were doing the auction right here, we were saying, well, did you ever make 1 crore when you were 14? Well, you did. You didn't even know how many zeros it had when we were 14. We didn't know how many zeros it had. And this is the reason why. And that's why Rajasthan has won today. The game has got done so quickly today because he just scored the century of 35 balls and pretty much just shut the game right there. Sealed the 2 points for his team. Jaiswal, 70 not out of 40. Geez, he was so slow today. Ollie, what happened to Jaiswal? Yeah. I guess he's old, that's why.
Yeah, that's right. Exhausted. Past his bedtime as well.
The senior pro just knocked it around.
He looked good though, didn't he? Actually,
yeah.
He's been showing signs of his brilliance already, but I think he's 50 now in the tournament, and that's a really good sign. If they can pick up on this momentum now, that's fantastic for RR.
Yeah, there's 2 points for them. There's 2 really, really big points for them. They needed it. Remember, if they would have lost today, they would have been out of the tournament. There's no mathematical possibility of them qualifying. So this win is just a little extra because it keeps them alive in the tournament. And of course, it's a lot extra because of how it has happened. It has happened on the back of a 14-year-old getting a century. And that's why as if there's any thought about this, he's our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas, Shor Kamzada. His 100 and 138 balls, a strike rate of 265. There were 7 4s and 11 6s. And the bowlers just look like how all of us look after the joy factor question, like we have no clue, right? That's exactly what the bowlers look like.
And when you're talking about bowlers, these bowlers have been going well. These are international class bowlers. When you're talking of Rashid Khan, you're talking about the 2 quicks at the top of the order. These are proper bowlers. And just as a bit, for me, this is the greatest individual performance of the RPL ever.
Wow.
It's got to be. It's a 14-year-old to go and stand out there and smash it around and get 100 of 35 balls. There's been great victories and performances in that, but that's got to be the greatest performance ever in the RPL history. I thought corporal punishment for kids was done and dusted, and you weren't allowed to have any corporal punishment when you're at school. He's come out as a schoolboy and he's given them some corporal punishment here today. He has absolutely smashed it.
He has bullied the seniors.
He has.
And the teachers.
So in the 4th year he wasn't born.
Yeah.
There's some guys who have been playing 4 years of RPL before he was born.
True.
He walked out here today and he's just dictated terms.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable.
He is younger than the tournament. And when everyone was saying he scored the 2nd fastest 100 in the history of the IPL, I was like, he's not even been around for the entire history of the IPL, right? It was absolute disregard and disrespect for reputations, right? And the reason why we keep harping on his age, right? The reason we do it is because, Gilly, you can tell people this is a very high-pressure environment. Perhaps one of the highest pressure environments in the entire cricketing world, maybe in the sporting world. To just come out there and do this with the kind of nonchalance that he did it, it just takes a heart as big as that ground.
Yeah, I think that's what was impressive, his calmness. Not for a moment when he got to 50 did it look like he felt, okay, that's job done. What a relief, and show this great excitement. It was just focus. And, Yeah, I was just really impressed with that calmness and the shot selection. He goes aggressively to the leg side. That's a big strength area for him, and gains a bit of fortune if he gets that thick outside edge. But I thought by the end of the innings, I was impressed that he has a greater array of shots than just a slog over mid-wicket.
Yeah, talk to me about that, yes.
Yeah, so I mentioned to the spinners, getting down and getting creative with that sort of low-down lap over backward square leg, or even to the quicks, he started to open up a bit more of an offside game and staying, rather than just clearing the front leg and trying to go to the leg side, he actually held position a bit and launched over the offside. So that tells me that he'd settled into his rhythm and felt comfortable enough, and then you allow a full natural game to come through rather than that sort of panicked, I've just got to go with power that way. So, yeah.
I'll agree. I thought at the start, when I've seen him, I thought he was a bit of a leg side Larry, and that he would only be scoring in that area. But as you say, there was a couple of shots over extra. And as you say, he also used the pace every once in a while, a little bit of finesse involved there, a little bit of finesse over short 45. You've got to be impressed. The attitude too, and Rashid Khan came on. You would have thought, okay, now it's Rashid, just give him some respect, have a look. It was almost like he was more excited to try and take him down. You know, it's like, okay, come, Rashid, come, let me have a go at you. Yeah. So, I mean, the exuberance of youth and the fearlessness of youth, that obviously comes to the fore. But he looked calm, he looked mature enough, really, in the way he played. That's why I just think it's remarkable.
Did you think that maybe the Gujarat bowlers or their support staff as well had not done their homework on him, perhaps? Because some of the execution or some of the things that they were doing, I remember you and I talking about this, don't give him more pace, right? He's really enjoying that. So take the pace off.
Is where I'd be critical of the GT bowlers. Up the top there, just kept going pace on, and clearly that's what he wanted. And that's why I really feel he did so well against the spinners. When they did take pace off, he then got creative and got into his game plan. But yeah, just pace on. I thought that was a little bit naive to keep going like that. You could see Ashish Nair on the sideline yelling out as he does and trying to make contributions as coach and maybe even dictate the direction of the game. But unfortunately, no one was listening.
I think they got lured in. I mean, you can think back to when you're playing and you have a youngster come in, you think, okay, this is it, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to bowl quicker and shorter.
I'm going to show you who's boss.
And yeah, we're going to be manly about what we're going to do. It's going to become physical, you know. And I think they were taken aback by the fact that everything that came on went further, and then there wasn't that clear sort of change up. The only other, I think, the dismissal league. What did he get out? It was against RCB, was it? He got clean bowled. I think that was a change of pace. It hit the top of the stumps where he gave himself room. And people will work him out. Let's be honest, they're going to come up with better plans. You know, whether they work him out totally, we'll have to wait and see. But there'll be better plans and probably going a little bit wider and changing up the pace. But for on the night, I mean, anything they threw at him, he answered. And it was just brilliant.
Yeah. He had obviously done his homework. I mean, about...
before 7:30.
Yeah, before 7:30. There was a time when we were on the Combox, I told Gilly, I said, right now GT's only hope is that Vaibhav's parents call him and say, come back, it's late. You can't be out this late, come back. And he finally got out for 101. I tell you something, if he hadn't gotten out then, we would have been here much earlier. It would have happened much earlier. But I just want to tell you, Paulie, we just found a fascinating piece of trivia. While Vaibhav Suryavanshi is the youngest centurion in the IPL, we have with us sitting the oldest centurion in the IPL.
There you go.
Now, I don't know which one's more impressive. I think your stat is more impressive because, you know, in your teens you can do this. You were close to 40 when you hit 100.
Yeah, keep doing that in 25 years' time, youngster. There you go. But I think I scored my first 100 as a 14-year-old. But it was not in the IPL. It was in a club game in Lismore in regional New South Wales, Australia, where you had to retire at 50, and then if everyone else got out, you got to go back in and have another go. But, so that's interesting. I didn't. Yeah, nearly 40, hey?
Yeah.
There you go.
39 and some.
So who's there? Who can still beat that? Faf? What is Faf? He's 41, 42?
Yeah. MS Dhoni
MS Dhoni might pull the trigger.
I think he comes too far down.
He comes to you. You can't score it at 8.
He doesn't promote himself enough.
Yeah, if he comes earlier. So Faf
At 14, I played one. They were short of players, and I played an A level. I don't know, the top club level game.
Yep.
And I felt out of my depth
Against the men.
Yeah, against the big
right.
boys. Just tried my best, and off we went. But to think RPL, hectic.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this kid with his little baby fat is still there because he's a baby. He's an absolute baby.
It's interesting you're talking about the auction, when you guys covered the auction and he was picked up. And as you say, GK, a couple of franchises were going. It wasn't just pick him up at base price. But from afar, I saw a 14-year-old's been picked up.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's got to be a gimmick. It's got to be a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Where he's clearly talented, but he's got to be so far off the pace.
He's not getting a game.
They're investing in him now, like the European football clubs get him when they're 10 and sign him up. That's what it felt like. But he has completely proven that incorrect, and showing that this wave of young Indian talent are not just maturing early at a younger age, but they're coming match ready, match hardened. And Polly, you made a good point off air that this young generation, they're playing pretty much only T20 cricket, possibly in their entire career to this point of their life. Short life, but that's all they know. So they haven't had to make the transition from the foundations of how you negotiate the new ball for maybe 3 or 4 overs before you start to go. Like, it's just go. Go, go, go.
Yeah, I was similar. When I saw him get purchased, I thought to myself, oh, they've got a 3-year idea here.
Yeah.
So make sure you get him on the books, and then maybe after 2 years, in his 3rd year of his contract, that's when he'll come into his own. But gobsmacked that he's there and doing it now.
Pretty much the 3rd week of his contract. Gets an opportunity because Sanju Samson is injured, and he comes in and does that. And look at the number of records he's broken. I mean, we've run short of paper here, by the way. There you go. That is, and I bet you can't read that on your screen wherever you're watching it from. So I'll read it out for you. Youngest century in T20 history, 2nd fastest in this tournament. 3rd innings is the earliest by an Indian batter to score a century. This is only his 3rd outing, by the way. So it's the earliest in their IPL career that anyone's done it. Youngest ever to score there was a half century as well, by the way, which was very good. We were so impressed by it. And 11 sixes. So the joint most hit by an Indian batter in this IPL. Wow. Lord, that's a lot. And of course, 2 hours past his bedtime. Nobody's talking about that. The fact that he goes to bed at 9, as his parents tell him, and here he was at 11 p.m.
I thought a real statement in that innings was he got those few away to the leg side early. And I'm pretty sure it was Mohammad Siraj came back and genuinely tried to bounce him, like what you were referring to. I'm the big boy here. Yeah. Have some of that. That's the level that you're at. And he got inside and hooked him for 6. I thought that was a moment of real statement.
Prasid Krishna did the same thing. He came around. I was watching his first over when he came on, and I thought, taller guy, extra bounce, he's probably going to have a dart at him. And same thing happened. The first one got through, he kind of ran at him, and then the second one on your way. So they're going to have a play with Suryavanshi vanishing. There's going to be a headline, Surya vanishing.
Surya vanishing, makes the ball vanish.
Vanishing, yeah.
And Surya, by the way, let me tell you, Surya means the sun. So he vanishes the balls pretty much into the sun, like they're gone. That's how far he's hit a few of them. Well, I mean, this segment could go on forever because he really has done some amazingly cool things today. Ice cool things today. And that's why he was our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas, Shorkam Kamzada, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Gilly and Polly are looking very confused because I haven't made them hear the song. I'm going to make you hear the song, by the way. This theme track is very catchy. And if the kid, as we're going to call him now, keeps playing the way he's playing, you'll need to know this theme track because you'll be hearing a lot of it. So that'll happen right after this. Meanwhile, I just want to tell you that, there was 24 other players playing as well. So we'll just talk about them for about 30 seconds. But here it is. It's easy for a 40 ball 70 to get overshadowed by what Suryavanshi done today, but we shouldn't let it, because the thing is, it's also, and Gilly will tell you, with opening partners, when one of you is in just ominous form like that, it really helps when the other is just there and is going well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, to sit back and watch a batting partner going off like that. But, I mean, that was often there's the yin and the yang. One goes and one holds, and then, they might surge back the other way. But they were both going. And Jaiswal kick-started the innings just as much as Suryavanshi. I think that, he can take a lot of credit to getting the GT bowlers on the back foot so far that then the kid was able to control the innings, and that's where Jaiswal was able just to sit back. And I mean, he only faced 40 balls in 15 and a half overs, so he didn't get a lot of the strike back at the back end.
Yeah.
The captain, Parag, came in and he'll be feeling a bit better about just closing the innings out with it's not a soft 30 or 15 or whatever it was, but it certainly wasn't the hardest conditions. But
he got 32 or 15.
Yeah. So
but the partnership, the partnership, 166. That's what you're talking about, right? 166 in 11.5. That is an insane partnership. That's crazy. They were both going. You can see there's 101 of 38 and there's 60 of 33. Now, ordinarily, you'd look at 60 of 33 and you go, well, he was the aggressor and the other player was kind of just rotating the strike. But no, it was the 60 who was rotating the strike. It was him.
Well, I think, a lot of their success hasn't gone their way. I mean, when we were asked to pick the leading run scorer of the tournament, I went for Jaiswal.
Yeah.
Because I thought he'd be unbelievable. And then I watched in the first few games, he didn't get off to a good start. He didn't pick up runs to get going. But he's definitely found his mojo, hasn't he, in the last few weeks?
Yep.
And I think a lot of their success could have been a bit better if he had got going earlier on in the tournament, because he is one of those guys, if he does play that way, which it looks like second fiddle today.
Yeah.
But it's still a proper knock in the context of any other normal match.
I'm seeing where he is now. He's 356 runs as Jaiswal. So that makes him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. He's 7th right now. Well, he's almost 100 runs, so he's about 80, 85 runs behind Kohli. He's, he's done well considering the fact that he was a slow starter. The first few matches, he looked a little at sea, but I'm happy to see. Now it's been a few games, so it's been a while. He's got 350 runs. But normal service from Jaiswal is just such a delight to watch, isn't it?
It is. It's fluent. I thought just in the first couple of overs, you see that strike rate there. That really is a nice fluency to your game. I thought he was just looking like he was just forcing a little bit, searching to force through the offside. I think that backward point region is such a strong area, even around to cover. He can get through there, but he was just trying to get too creative with it and looked a little bit frustrated. But by the end of it, it was, as you say, it's a beautiful sight. And then that creativity he gets a bouncer and he just arches the back and rides it over the keeper. And he does that in all formats. He just looks like a player that trusts his all-round game.
He's not the biggest and strongest individual, so sometimes it does look like he's trying to force the issue because trying to get that power and feels like he kind of almost has to swing himself off his feet. But I agree with Gilly, he doesn't have to. I think he's got so much talent that if he just uses his timing, he can almost be just as effective. But I think in those first 6 in particular, he's always looking to kind of squeeze it a little bit harder because he wants the power.
Well, there's something about him that got the Australians quite excited as well, not just during the tour, but leading up to the tour as well. I think people were very excited to see Jaiswal.
Oh, he came before last summer with a big expectation, given, again, such a young age and a bit of the backstory about how he made his way and forged his way to that level from very humble beginnings. So,
and then his performance against England before going to...
Exactly. All those hundreds. And then he missed out. He got the duck in the first innings in Perth. And I remember all of Australia going, what's this about? And then did not...
You guys don't do that in Australia?
No, we don't jump on people straight away at all. But that little ramp over the keeper tonight reminded me of him bringing up the 100 at the Perth Stadium in a game where, again, this shows you the confidence of these young Indians in the game where he turns around to Mitchell Starc and says, "You're bowling too slow, mate. You're bowling too slow." So,
I remember when I saw that, I was just thinking, don't poke the bear. Don't poke the... You never poke the bear.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But, that's just the kind of confidence that these... And some players do it. We speak about it so much, right? I mean, you guys used to talk about that, talk about Brian Lara like that.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to him. Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Because some players just need that
Yeah.
fuel. Like people like Virat Kohli, people like Brian Lara.
Yep.
If you say something to them, they just it wakes up the beast inside
Flicks
them.
the switch, doesn't it?
Yeah. What about you? Did you? I know you've never sledged anyone in your life.
No, I think, who did we try and not speak to? I don't know, I suppose Tugger would have been one you tried to not speak to.
That's Steve Waugh.
We South Africans,
Mark Taylor.
friendly.
Steve Waugh, you're saying?
Yeah,
Steve,
Steve
yeah.
Waugh, yeah. We're just friendly South Africans, you know.
Friendly South Africans. Absolutely. I tell you, in our little gully cricket that we play, I decided not to sledge one of my friends. He got really upset afterwards. He's like, don't you like me anymore? Why have you not said anything to me? I said, I'm going to ignore you this game to show you. Yeah. So, well, anyway, today's story has been, you can't ignore Vaibhav Suryavanshi because that's the story. That's the headline you're going to see for a while. And you know what? Like you both say, bowlers are going to figure him out. For me, as a fan, if he does absolutely nothing, diddly squat in the rest of the tournament, well, they've got 4 games left now.
Yeah.
He does diddly squat. It still will not take away from what he's done today. I think this is easily one for the ages. Just like we talk about Chris Gayle against Pune, that 175 that he hit till today, 14 years later. I think this one will be spoken about in almost the same stratosphere for a long, long time to
I
come.
suppose the challenge is going to be for the media and for us kind of pundits is to not talk about him, no, not the wrong word is seriously, but you can't afford to be too judgmental for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're brutally honest, I mean,
point.
to think of when you get to 18 or 19, then maybe you should be thinking about him indifferently. But just let him play.
Yeah.
Just let him play for this. Whatever he gets up to, whatever mistakes he makes, just take it on board and just leave it alone.
Yeah, this innings should, and I think will, create global headlines across sport.
Yeah.
And not just in the cricket playing nations. I would suspect in America or the nations that don't really typically follow cricket, they will be flabbergasted to know that someone at that age has just dominated and played the second best possible. Well, you say maybe the best individual performance in the history of the tournament.
It's like going into the Major League Baseball as a 13 or 14-year-old and
Yeah.
just carving out 3 or 4 home runs
Yeah.
Yeah.
at Yankee Stadium. You know, it's like, what has just happened here? It's bizarre, and it won't be. They won't understand cricket. It'll just be the headlines. A 14-year-old did this. And that's enough just to explain it away.
On one of the biggest stages in the world. But I've got another question for you. India now has a rule where a kid can only play one under-19 World Cup. When do you play him?
But I saw him, he was wearing, the one picture we had there was wearing the Indian uniform. Is that what, under 16 or under...
He would have played junior cricket for sure, right? Which team would he play? I'm saying India under 19.
Yeah.
You play the World Cup. Rahul Dravid put this rule because there was a lot of age fudging that was going on because people would have tried to play 2 World Cups because obviously it gives you a lot of attention. So he said, irrespective of what age you are, just the 1 World Cup. I think Rahul Dravid made that rule.
Right.
Now Rahul Dravid will have to rewrite that rule as his coach here.
Yeah.
He may just skip that version. He may just skip the under 19 version.
Skip it.
Yeah. And maybe focus on other ones. Yes, to come.
That's for kids.
Yeah. I'm in the senior pros now. I don't mess around with no kids, man. But
He is the kid.
is
Never mind. At the moment, he is the kid.
we have to call him the kid. He is
What do they say in there? Boss baby or...
boss baby.
No, he is the kid.
Yeah, well, I was calling Sam Constas the kid during the summer just gone. Young Aussie tyro
course.
that's out there, but
Yeah.
he's a veteran at 18
Correct.
compared to the kid.
I mean-
4 years on him.
Vaibhav calls him uncle. That's how much older he is. It's been fascinating. We'll have a look at the Gujarat bowlers and not what they did, but what happened to them today. I think that's a better use of words there. This is what happened to them. I mean, in the midst of all this chaos, Rashid Khan's still gone for a runner ball. I love that. I love that he's gone for a runner ball. You look at all this 12, 18, 18.5, 12, 6, 30, 16.
Yeah, maybe the question mark there is that bottom line there. Well, the bottom name of the bowler, Sai Kishore,
Yeah.
who's done a very decent job this tournament, he didn't come on to bowl
Yeah.
till the point where they're only defending 27 more runs. So not sure whether Rashid, who inherited the captaincy with Shubman Gill being off, but yeah, there'd be a few question marks around that if there was an issue, or he should have been into that attack earlier to at least be given some chance to make an impact. You're not going to do anything coming on at the 14th over defending 27.
I think they were just shell-shocked. I really think they weren't thinking clear. They were shell-shocked. There was no ways they were expecting that. And for the continuing period that it went on for the two of them, yeah, they didn't come. I mean, I think pace off, definitely.
Yeah.
You had to try and do pace off. But, yeah, what do we say?
You're absolutely right about him, like about them being shell-shocked. And Gilly and I were talking on the comm box about this, saying that Vaibhav, when he got out in the first game, if you remember, he had tears, he was crying, right? And now he's making all the Gujarat bowlers cry, you'd think, but they don't have tears because when you're in the state of shock, you don't have tears. They only come the next day. So I think for a lot of these bowlers, the tears are going to come the next day. When they realize what exactly has happened. But the thing about Rashid's captaincy, and that's interesting because it just takes my mind back to the fact that Hardik was not on the field when Rashid took over captaincy Hardik didn't play that game. Rashid took captaincy when they had that famous chase against KKR, or KKR chased against them in Ahmedabad with that Rinku Singh hitting 5 sixes in the last over. So that was another chase that happened, and Rashid was just taking me back. So he's now got like 2 nightmare days as captain in this Gujarat jersey. So yeah, sometimes it just happens, and when you're not expecting it, because obviously he was not expecting it, there has to be a niggle. This is not a strategic call. You don't take your captain off as to bring an impact sub in. That's obvious. So something has happened, some niggle or something, and I guess Rashid was just not prepared for it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to sub your captain out when there's other options. But
he's had enough captaincy experience. I mean,
he's not a rookie.
I know he has, absolutely.
He captained Mumbai Cape Town, or MR Cape Town.
Fair enough, and he's captain of Afghanistan. Of course, he's got captaincy experience, but into a team when, yes, you're a senior player over there, but Jos Buttler's more senior to you, so you know that between Ashish Nehra, Jos Buttler, that's all the help that Shubman Gill, the captain, is possibly all the advice he's taking. Sometimes can that happen?
Your point's right. I mean, if you are captain, you know you're going to be captain, you kind of go through some permutations in your brain before going to the game and what you might try or what might do. So maybe he was caught unawares as he's going onto the field. Shubman Gill says, listen, I've got a niggle, take over. But still, I think he's experienced enough to have maybe thought about it, and particularly from an Afghanistan perspective. I mean, one of their key tactics with Afghanistan is to take the pace off it. Because they don't always have those big quicks who can dominate.
Yeah. But spare a thought for Kareem Jannat, comes in, goes for 30 there. I think all of them. Ishant Sharma, who's looking at this kid and saying, hang on, I've won test matches for India before your parents met, and this is what you're doing to me. Mohammad Siraj, he never came back. Prasidh Krishna's 4 went for 47. So, yeah, I think...
Kareem Jannat had an interesting recall to the team.
Yep. He bowled a super over.
30.
Sorry?
1 over 0 for 30.
Yeah, and so his last 2 overs in T20 cricket in India have cost 66 runs because he had 36 versus India in Bangalore in 2024. He gave away 36 runs.
36, did he?
Yeah, 36, and he's given away 30 today. So I think next time somebody throws a ball at him when he's on Indian soil, he's going to run.
He'll drop
just turn and run, right? Just go away. All right, the question now is for Gujarat. Of course, they are still in a great position. What do you do, and what's the advice you give them as captain, as coach, as management? What do you tell the players after a day like this, when you're just steamrolled by one individual? A teenager, that too.
I don't think you read too much into it, do you?
No.
Yeah. You could probably throw it away as a one-off. I probably think they would, though, now be thinking, where's Kagiso Rabada, just as an extra option there. You know, you've got 2 internationals up front from a seamers perspective. You've got Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
It looks a lot more of a stronger outfit if KG's there as well. So they'll be trying to work out when he would be back. But I think in this T20 format, there are days where things just don't go according to plan, and you learn from them, definitely learn from it. Like, next time it does happen, let's take the pace off, or let's try different angles, or let's try different bowlers. But I think you mentally, as bowling attacks, realise that there'll be 1, maybe 2 games in the tournament where there's not much you can do.
Yeah. So just forget about it. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. The positive side of it is their batting. You know, for half the game, they looked like they were not in control of the game, but they were certainly moving forward in a positive manner. So, yeah, they've had such a good story to this point. You don't let that become something. It's just try to refresh. Say, guys, that the young fella had his day out, so you just got to sort of put that behind. There's their sequence of games there.
They've had some solid wins. Like you look at margins, 36, 58 runs, 7 wickets, 39 runs. All their wins have actually been quite comprehensive.
But I think it's actually not a bad thing for them, considering where they've been. They've been so good, and then they had a break. And they haven't played for 5 days, have they? And you sit there in the camp and you think to yourself, oh, things are going along swimmingly.
Yeah.
We've won 6 games out of 8. We're playing good cricket. Bring on the rest of the tournament. Maybe I won't go to practice. Maybe I won't. It's just, hey, hold on. We've done well, but this tournament's not as easy as just doing well for a period of time. We need to get back on the horse. We need to be fully focused. And it's probably come at a good time for them, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, oh, good. It could be a good jolt, just in case. I'm not saying, but sometimes you can settle into just some sort of complacency, and it's good to be shaken out of it. Shaken out of it also, they are number 2 on the points table right now, so they are at a good spot. Sorry, number 3 on the points table.
Where's this points table?
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, they're number 3 because what has happened is that Shaun Pollock has jinxed their net run rate, which is a very healthy 1 point something.
Yeah.
It has dropped. It is what has happened to the net run rate is what happens to me in the guessing game these days. Just sliding down. And because of that, they have dropped 1 spot. So now, even though they have a game in hand, right? So they have a game in hand. It's RCB and Mumbai who are top of the table. Gujarat is below them, but they do have a game in hand. So they will play that and hopefully, try to still get to the top of the table again. But you look at Rajasthan. Rajasthan will go, well, we've just got 1 spot up, but not get too happy because,
they will not be looking at that points table tonight. There's too many other things to celebrate without looking at that points table. That'll make them depressed.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to, cold milk or something? How do they celebrate with a kid? Come on, drinks are on us. There you go. Here's a couple of milkshakes for you.
A bowl of ice cream to celebrate.
I think that's good. By the way, I've actually seen Chris Gayle, after a game, celebrate with a bowl with 3 scoops of ice cream after a good innings.
So I'll tell you the story. My last game for South Africa, I was a non-drinker, and my favourite drink I used to often get was a milkshake when you went out, right? So one of the management members went and got 25 milkshakes.
Wow.
And when we walked off, and everyone had a milkshake with me, and then they went on to their beers. So true story. So maybe it is milkshakes.
Well, Steve Smith rewards himself when he scores a Test match 100 with a chocolate bar, or a block of chocolate.
Proper block.
Yeah, full block. So there you go. Be interesting to find out what the kid, what he does.
Syed Khan told me that I said he's talking about not eating dessert, and he said that when you have a good day in the field, you reward yourself with a piece of cheesecake. And I said, what happens on the days when you're 10 overs 85? He says, 2 cheesecakes. Those are the days. So I think, cheesecakes for all the Gujarat bowlers and milkshakes for all the Rajasthan team. It has been an absolutely fantastic display of batting. And just guts and gumption and conviction and self-belief and just all the cool qualities of human beings that Vaibhav Suryavanshi, all of 14, has shown us today. All right, we have another game tomorrow. And that's an exciting game as well because there's Delhi who maybe are hurting a little bit. Remember, they played a game just yesterday, right, on Sunday in Delhi itself where they lost to Bangalore. And now they have Calcutta coming to play over there. And Calcutta, of course, on the back of that 1 point because of rain. So, again, a team, Polly, you look at the Knight Riders, a lot of pieces there not working. So they'd be hoping that, tomorrow's the day that they can do this. They have a long batting, a ground which helps batters traditionally in Delhi. So they'll be looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a good position, aren't they? 4th on the league. They've played some good cricket. I think there's just been 2 opportunities where they'll be a bit disappointed with themselves. One was Alain Mumba to get that 2 points with all those run-outs that they had at the back end of that innings. Because
in Delhi, Mumbai. That was in Delhi, yes.
yeah, they should have closed that game out.
Yeah.
And then the other night to have them 28 for 3 chasing that score that they had was a 160 odd. They would have felt that if we pick up a wicket here or two,
Correct.
Krunal Pandya, I mean, it's only his second 50 ever in the RPL, so that was the most unlikely kind of place to get success from. So if they'd been able to push home the advantage there, so it's been 2 where they almost could have qualified. You have to deal with that, but I think they'll be disappointed by that. But the key for me is they've got to find someone at the top of the order. Faf's been injured. He comes back. He doesn't really find his timing anywhere near.
Rusty, yeah.
And I think the changing of that batting order, you've got guys in form. KL Rahul, I think he comes at number 3. He tries to do what we've seen the other number 3s do. And I think Tristan Stubbs needs to be moved up. He can't be coming in at 6. He's made, I think, 20s and 30s. He's had a lot of not outs. But I think your form player, he's been a bit of a form. You've had KL Rahul's been in form. I think get your 4 guys up as high as you possibly can in the batting order.
So then, according to you, it should be KL Rahul at 3, Tristan Stubbs at 4, maybe Akshar at 5.
Yeah.
And then Ashutosh has been good at 6. He was not there in the last game.
Yeah.
Or did the impact sub him in? Oh, the impact subbed him in. He was
yeah.
not in the original. So, so there you go. So
Abhishek
that
Porel
would be...
at the top, left-hander. He gets them off to a bit of a flyer, takes a bit of pressure off Faf. I'm happy with
So
that.
then who's opening with him, Faf or Karun Nair?
No. No, Faf with Porel.
So Faf with Porel.
Yeah, left-hander, right-hander. He played nicely the other night. What did he get? He got like 20 or 30 quickly.
He's been getting them off to starts.
And that's the kind of start they need. It also takes the pressure off Faf to be exorbitant with his strike rate. And then once you go to those other 2, and now he just slides down. And you've got the left-hander of Akshar at number 5.
Yeah, so then, I mean, see, because we saw Karun Nair play a blazing innings. And then he got a run out of the first ball. Not even first ball. Had he even played a ball? That was his first ball. He got a run out. And then he's not got much. So he's only had a knock or 2. So do you then drop him or what do you do then?
No, I guess at some point you got a show of faith in the player and try and instill a bit of trust and confidence and in that player to show that you're backing them in, because there's such fine margins in this tournament in this format. They're only small little increments, so I think with that in mind, you've got to try and get the trust of the player and show faith in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can still go 3 or maybe split up KL Rahul and put him at 4 and then Tristan Stubbs. I just think Stubbs has to come up now that he keeps getting these scores.
Yeah,
he's in good
Needs a bit
form.
more time. Once your guys are in, they've got to have time. Bowling-wise, I'm not worried about it. Mukesh Kumar, I wasn't overly impressed with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was up to the task in that last game.
Yeah. And they've got T. Natarajan there as well, who I think is not fully fit, because if he was fit, maybe... Is he fit? Oh, he is fit. He's just not fitting in.
Mohit Sharma's there too. That might be an option. Mukesh, I wasn't impressed with what he
previous
gave
game.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the Knight Riders team, and they've got a lot of batters, obviously, and who they're going to play. I mean, the last game, it's tough to say anything about that last game. Yeah, they gave away 200, but I think after the start that Punjab got, that bowling unit would be saying that 200 was not bad, right? They kind of managed to pull it back in the end. But do you make any changes in that team? Because otherwise it looks settled.
Quentin de Kock may be an option to come back in there at the top of the order.
But Gurbaz has only got, two
goes,
chances, right?
Yeah. So they'll probably stick with him. I think bowling-wise, I think the spinners, we know what they can do in those middle overs, the Chakravarti and Areen. I think you obviously can dictate terms with there. I liked the fact that they got Russell more involved in the last game. That was really good. And they've got the seamers at the top. Shakira, how do you say
Sakaria.
that? Sakaria.
Chetan Sakaria.
He didn't quite look up to it. If we can just bring that list up, I'm trying to think the one name I'm also missing is...
Vaibhav Arora,
Arora with his... Arora with his in-swing he didn't quite get it going the other night. Harshit Rana... Yeah, they might look to maybe change something, but I'm trying to think how they would. Because they brought in Rovman Pal in the last game. He didn't get to the crease, so you can't exactly drop him. But I think the experience bowling-wise of either Spencer Johnson or Nokia could be an option.
But you'd prefer Nokia, right?
Russell bowling enough?
He bowled. He hasn't been bowling enough. But
He hasn't
came
been.
in the last game and bowled.
Got it,
He actually bowled
yeah.
quite well. He bowled some good Yorkers at the back end.
Yeah.
So the last game he did, I
Strike
think
rate.
before that in like, I think 6 games he bowled 7-8 overs or something. So like an over and a half per game as an average.
Yeah, sure.
But he was getting a wicket. He would bowl an over, get a wicket, and then we wouldn't see him with the ball. So it has to be maybe just to preserve the knees, perhaps. Cause
Yeah, that's where I wonder physically, can he back up game after game if he's doing a full workload?
That's what's been the enigma for them over the last. I mean, I know they won last year, but it's almost been 3 or 4 years now. Where what are we going to get from him? And there's no security about what you can bank on as a captain or team management. So if they can get him to go and do a little bit more, that's why I think he's just settled into that role of come on and bowl Yorkers. So it's just one role, and if we'd probably use you more at the back end. But he did play a good role last time.
Yeah, he did.
But he had to because of the other bowlers disappearing.
Yeah, and also it just brings you to that question. Like, I know that no player is bigger than a team, but some players you just can't see the team dropping them ever, right? And Andre Russell is just, it seems that kind of vibe with the Knight Riders. You don't think you'll see a team till he's in the squad, which doesn't have him in the 11 or 12.
Yeah, sure. No, that's well, and again, he can have such an impact in such a small window of opportunity. He's an out and out match winner, and has been for a lot of franchises over the years, making that impact.
I suppose you just got to try and equate what level of consistency you kind of need from him. Like how often do you need him to step up? And if it starts to dwindle and gets less than 4 games a season or becomes 2 games a season, that's when they'll have to pull the trigger. It's hard, isn't it? I mean, it's emotional. It's one of the toughest things to do in sporting environments is when someone's been such a good servant and they still show you glimpses of what they're capable of. When do you pull the trigger? When do you say thanks but no thanks anymore? It's terrible, and to be able to do that, it's tough decisions. But they might make it at the end of the season if they feel like they have to. I very much don't see them doing it now.
Well, we have a player to watch out for from each team. Who's it going to be for you? Let's start with Knight Riders.
Knight Riders. I think I want one of the spinners to bounce back because they were kind of put under pressure, weren't they? Chakravarti. I think Chakravarti needs to come to the fore there, and then
Chucky.
I'll go with Russell from the Knight Riders.
Okay,
I want to
nice.
see him make the impact.
Back him.
It's
I'm going to
crucial game for them too, and they don't want to drop this one. Otherwise, they are getting into real danger zone.
And remember, if Delhi wins, and if they can win by a decent margin, they can go top of the table.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Every day we're getting a game with one guy who can go to the top of the table and the other guy who's trying to
could
fight
drop
for
out.
survival.
Yeah, no,
trying to avoid the E. And then for Delhi, I think they need, if they're going to go further in this tournament, they need to have something at the top of the order. So I want to see what Faf's going to do.
Okay, excellent for you.
Tristan Stubbs. I want to see him. I want to follow his countrymen's advice, get up the order a bit more and win a match.
Okay.
Control a match.
All right, sounds good. Let's have a look at a joy factor question and see if anybody's got that right. Somebody must have, I'm sure. It's a tough one.
2 player of the match.
In 2001, which cricketer won a joint player of the match award with an opposing player despite the former's side suffering an innings defeat? Innings defeat.
Sorry, can't help you out on this one.
No.
Absolutely no idea. Not a foggiest.
2000.
Have a look. Mohammad Ashraful for scoring a century on debut at age 17 shared it with Mutaya Muralitharan. Geez, I just want to tell you, Joy thought this question at whatever 3 p.m. today, and he spoke about a teenager getting a century.
Yeah.
Do you think Professor Bhattacharya is related, distantly perhaps, to Nostradamus?
It's a good call.
I'm going to ask him the lotto numbers.
Yeah, correct. Give us some useful, give us some information we can use, right? And profit off. Money. Today's big prize of our love and admiration goes to
Goes to.
Nobody.
There you go.
Mubasir Prachad, congratulations to you. You were the first person to get the correct answer. So yeah, well done, man. That was a tough one to do. All right, let's have a look at the guessing game. No point. Nobody did anything. We all got it wrong. Obviously, if Suryavanshi is going to hit 5,000 runs in the power play, what's going to happen?
Huh.
Well, there you go. I go sliding down.
Oh, Polly, you've tipped in.
Tipped in form.
Polly's gone from 11 to 9. I am now down to number 6 in it. Yeah. Life's tough, man. Life's tough. It's tough. That's it. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm upset. I'm not coming back tomorrow. Okay, fine. Since you're asking nicely, I'll come back tomorrow.
Let's do it
7
again.
p.m.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's go round 2.
Yeah.
With Adam Gilchrist and Shaun Pollock. You guys are going to be here tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So no tearful goodbyes right now.
Nope.
Just checking, are there any teenagers in the KKR or Delhi Capitals teams?
Any teenagers? Let me do a quick scan.
Maybe, I mean, just in the flavour of everything, maybe just throw them in.
Throw them all
for
in.
tomorrow's match.
Oh, in the squad.
Yeah, are they in the squad?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
We'll have to see.
Even in the squad, just play them.
Play them.
That's right. That's the trick. Play
Time of the teenager.
Yeah, the teenagers. All right, Teen Wolves. If you got a few, put them in. But today it was just about one Teen Wolf. That was Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and we will be talking about him a lot. Maybe tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow. So we'll do that at 7 p.m. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Voltas Express, Vaibhav Station, Netaji Bhavan.